Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It's been a long, long time, huh? Listen, Billy Joel, you may be right. One of my favorite songs is, and it is his birthday. Billy Joel is 76 years old today. Can you believe it? Well, the thing with Billy Joel is he hasn't been well. The last concert he gave, he was falling over all over the stage. Like there was something wrong with him. So he's off tour now, taking care of his health, which he should. But I've been a Billy Joel fan for a long, long time. When he first came out in the 70s, I didn't really like him that much. He's all right, but and then he kind of grew on me, like carrot cake. That's true. When I was a kid, I used to hate carrot cake. And then as I became older and older and older and older and older, I just acquired a taste for carrot cake. I like it. So anyway, Billy Joel, he started to grow on me. I think especially this album did Glass Houses. It was more of a rock album, you know. And I like his early stuff, but this is when I really started. So, and the thing is, we're waiting for Billy Joel to come out with a whole new album. He teased us like we're like children. He teased us a little bit with that song that came out. What was it, like last year or something? Don't turn the lights out or turn the light on, something like that. Anyway, and everybody thought, oh well, Billy Joel's going to come out with a new album. He's got this new song and it's very popular. He did it like at the Grammys and everything, but nothing ever materialized of it. So I don't know. I don't know. This we've been dying for new Billy Joel music. But the thing I think about Billy Joel is he's a great, great songwriter. Yeah, I would put him up there with Springsteen and so forth. I think Billy Joel is more commercial, you know, but he has written about some really important things, and like the Vietnam War and Allentown was about, how our towns and cities, guys out of work, things like that. It, you know, I think he's a guy you either hate Billy Joel or you love him. There's no kind of in between on him. And I love him. Hey, I haven't seen him in concert in a long time. He was doing this Madison Square Garden gig every month for like 10 years. He finally ended that. So, and I get it. He's cutting back on tour and the guy's getting older. But I think the final thing about Billy Joel, there's a lot to talk about today. I think he's going to be one of these guys after he dies. You're going to find out he has all this music we haven't heard of. Since like 92, that's when his last album was out. And River of Dreams. He hasn't really recorded that much. He did like a classical album. Nobody cares about that. So I think after he passes, we're going to find out he has just a lot of music in the vault that we've never heard of. And so even after he's gone, we might have Billy Joel music for a long, long time. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I wish him good health. Happy birthday, Billy Joel. The big 7-6. How about the Pope, huh? The Pope, the Bears, the Pope, the Bears, the Pope. Who would have ever thought an American Pope? I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. Did you? I mean, I couldn't believe it when they announced it. An American. I was kind of hoping that this Timothy Dolan guy from New York would not get it because he's just too, he was schmoozing with Trump there, and it's just too much hanky panky. So I said, no, no, I don't want it to be. And I really thought I didn't really, all week long they gave us like the contenders. That was like the Kentucky Derby or something, you know, and the contenders. And I didn't know who to pick. But in nobody's dreams, nobody can say they were thinking about this guy, Robert guy. What's really, really cool though is he's from Chicago, which okay, you gotta give it to him. You know, he knows about Chicago pizza. He's a fan of the White Sox, not the Cubs. And the Cubs tried to take credit for it though. They put up on their outside outside message board, he's a Cubs fan. Well, that's not true. They went right to the source. They went right to his brother. He has two brothers. And the one brother said, I want to make it known right now, right here, right now, before this thing gets out of hand. My brother, the Pope, is not a Cubs fan. He is a White Sox fan. And let it be known and let it shall be said. But the White Sox are so freaking bad. I don't think even the Pope is going to help them, you know. But anyway, so he's a Chicagoan, but he went to Villanova University, which is right around for me, right for me, and he graduated from Villanova. His degree was in mathematics. Now, I've been reading about this guy. I should call this guy. What the hell? What kind of respect? Your Holiness, Pope Leo the 14th. And I've noticed that he and I have a lot in common, We're both very compassionate guys, very nice guys, and very good looking guys. And, baseball fans. But that's where we kind of differ, the mathematics thing. See, he got his degree in mathematics. I didn't. Far from it. I just about passed math to get through college to graduate, become a social worker. So that's where we part ways. But anyway, so it is kind of cool though, because think about it. You hear him speak English, and it's like you and I talking, He doesn't have the accent like I have. Door, talking. But, he's got that American accent. So it is going to be a trip when to hear him talk in English. It's like, wow, wow, it still hasn't really hit me yet. It will maybe sometime in the future, like, I don't know, November the 3rd, 2030. I don't know, sometime in the future, it's going to hit me that, wow, we have an American Pope. I really thought, you know what? I really thought it was going to be an Italian Pope. Because, back in the day, it was, the Italians had a pretty good run, a couple hundred years or something. It was all Italian popes. And then that broke the streak back with John Paul II, Saint John Paul II, who was, I gotta tell you, my personal favorite. When I was growing up, John Paul II, I mean, this guy, he was like vibrant. He used to be an actor, and he was just had this charisma. Charisma was coming out of his hat there, whatever they call it. And, just a charismatic guy and a holy guy, So, but he was a Polish Pope. And then we had the German Pope, Pope Benedict. I didn't really care for it. I don't know what it was. I didn't warm up there. And then we had the great Pope Francis, who I really, really loved. I still, he is what an example, huh? He gave everything away to the poor. It's just, he's just a great guy. I wouldn't be surprised. This is my prediction on Friday, May the 9th. I had to look. May the 9th, 2025. Sunday, Pope Francis will be a saint. That's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. Hey, I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl last year before the season, so why can't Pope Francis be a saint? That's what I think. Anyway, good luck. God bless Pope Leo the 14th. And it's kind of cool knowing that he was a student at Villanova and he was around here. He could have been driving down the Schuylkill Expressway. He knows things like Wawa. He probably went in there to get hoagies sometimes, sandwiches. Everybody around here knows Wawa. He probably went to a Phillies game, even though he's a White Sox fan, diehard White Sox fan. So, knowing that he did regular things like any person living around here, it's kind of cool. You got to picture the Pope in all of his Pope gear, sitting in Veterans Stadium watching the Phillies play. What can't be a kid? So what if you had seats next to the Pope? You can't holler and curse like you usually do at the ball game. Oh, you're blind, you're blind. What the hell? Go to hell. You can't tell the umpire to go to hell if the Pope is sitting next to you. That's not cool. You can't do that. So it would be a trip though, wouldn't it? And what would the Pope eat at the ballpark? Oh, I don't know. I could see him saying like, "Oh, this cheesesteak is heavenly. It's heavenly. It's heavenly." Anyway, good luck to the Pope. My personal feeling is that they did this on purpose. The American Pope, to kind of counterbalance the devil part, Trump, with the good guy. Now, here's the thing: whether you are a Trump supporter or not, you gotta hope Trump tames himself down. He can't be embarrassing the country when you got the Pope is from America, for God's sakes. Oh, come on. Maybe having the Pope from America kind of tries to balance it out a little bit. Maybe the Pope could give him a pep talk sometime and say, "Look, stop being a moron." That kind of thing. One could only hope. One could only hope. What else has been going on since I've been here? Well, Sunday's Mother's Day. And yeah, I wish my mom, she's been born 11 years now. A happy heavenly Mother's Day too. But whether your mom is still living or not, you remember your mom. That's the thing. You get so many people who say, it makes me sad because my mom's not around anymore, which is true. But what you could do, you can't just slough off Mother's Day just because mom isn't here. You could say, today is a day like any other day when I remember my mom even more so than any other day. Remember past Mother's Days. I used to remember, I used to get my mom flowers, always a card, a nice card, with maybe I stuck $100 bill in there, and I'd say, go to bingo, have fun, right? That's what she enjoyed to do, right? So I would say for those people out there whose moms are gone, or you may be separated from your mom or something, just say, I'm remembering the good times. I'm remembering past Mother's Day when mom wasn't around. So you could still think of her and celebrate. Now, on our end here, Holly is here, and the dogs, Coco and Fluffy, Coco and Katie, Fluffy, where did I get that from? Fluffy. Coco and Katie Yeah, Holly is their mom, her mom. So of course, what I did was I went online and I got some presents from them to give to her on Sunday. Of course, they helped out. So one present is like a bag of dog bones, and another. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I wish moms out there, whether you're watching me or the mom of you, if you're watching or whatever, that happy Mother's Day on Sunday. Huh? It's supposed to be beautiful here. 75, sunny. Today sucks, by the way. We're getting all kinds of rain. It's turning cool, but we've had some beautiful weather here. And cool. This is my kind of weather, by the way. No humidity. Pretty soon it's going to feel like summertime. We're going to get to that god awful humidity. I can't stand. But this is the time of the year to love. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. So what else is going on? The Phillies. Yeah, the Phillies are playing good ball these days. They're only a game and a half out of first place. The Mets had them down by 5 when the Mets swept them recently in New York. But Phillies have clawed their way back to only a game and a half behind the Mets. So that's good. They're coming back. They just swept the Tampa Bay Rays down in Florida. And the Rays are playing in a minor league field, the Yankees' old minor league field, because there's no stadium to play it. The Rays stadium blew over from the roof blew in one of the hurricanes down. So, but Phillies are playing good ball. They're in Cleveland this weekend. And I don't think Cleveland lightly. Cleveland's in second place in the American League Central. They always have a good team. And this Cleveland team, they play a lot of small ball, as they say. Move runners over, run the bases, bunt. That's they got too many home runs. That's the way they play ball. And be leery of this one guy on Cleveland. His name is Stephen Kwan. Excellent hitter, great center fielder. So I think the Phillies tried to get him at one point during one of the off seasons. And the Guardian said, no. And my wish is, I wish before I die that they switch back over to the Indians. I always knew them as the Cleveland Indians. And they always stunk when I was growing up a kid. But Indians that, I'm very sensitive to groups and things like that, not being called Braves and Indians and stuff. But I don't know. I look at it this way. It's only sports, okay? It's only sports. So Indians, I kind of miss that. And probably the reason is if Cleveland had picked a better name than the Guardians, I wouldn't care so much. But Guardians is stupid. It's a stupid name. And they named it after a bridge. Apparently, I've never been to Cleveland, but apparently in Cleveland, there's a bridge called Guardian or the Guardian Angels or Guardian Bridge. I don't know. But that's what they did. And I thought it was stupid then. It's stupid now. Oh, well. What else? Football. Well, we had the draft last week. Eagles had an okay draft. We're not going to know anyway about any of these guys from any of these teams until the season starts. I mean, who knows? But it seemed like the Eagles had a pretty decent draft. Well, so we'll see. What's coming up this Wednesday, my friends? NFL schedule is going to be released. Now, what they're doing is they usually release it about 8 o'clock at night. So they can make a big deal out of it. ESPN has this like 3-hour show or whatever. But if you listen to the radio, if you have your internet on, little by little, you get traces of the schedule leaking out during the day. Like, on Christmas Day, the Eagles are going to be hosting the blah, 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 New York Giants. And pretty soon, you kind of piecemeal the schedule together. so that before 8 o'clock, you pretty much have a lot of the key games and the key dates uh, put together. But it's always an exciting day of the year for me because you get the schedule, you know, not only who the Eagles are going to play, but when they're going to play them. Uh, is it a holiday or is it you go up to Buffalo this year, you go up to Green Bay this year. Is it in December when there could be snowstorms and blizzards to contend? Now, to me, Eagles being Super Bowl champs. Oh, by the way, I've been away for a while with these kidney stones. I'll talk about that in a second. But never forget, my friends out there, especially my friends watching from Dallas, Texas, the Eagles are Super Bowl champs. And don't forget it. Uh, um, I think the NFL can make it tough on the Eagles because you never see repeat champions. Hardly. Kansas City did it. So if Kansas City could do it, certainly the Eagles could do it this year. But it's really hard because number one, you have a tougher schedule. That's why I'm thinking the NFL is really going to slam it, to the Eagles. Watch on Wednesday. You're going to have the Eagles going up to Green Bay in the middle of December, going up to Buffalo like the last game of the year, around January 1st. Anything to screw the Eagles. So we'll see. But it wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, what we know is the Super Bowl champion always hosts the first game of the year on a Thursday. So that's going to be very interesting. Are we going to play the Cowboys or the Commanders at a first game? Or are we going to play maybe the Lions? The Lions are supposed to come into Philly this year. That would be a good game. Because I think this year the Lions, like it has been for the last few years, are going to be contenders. So that might not be a bad game. Eagles Lions to kick off the season, right? Anyway, I don't have my picks yet. By the end of August, I will. And like I said, I did. I picked the Eagles Chiefs to meet in the Super Bowl back on August the 31st. There you go. So we'll see. Hang with me. We'll see. Other news, Sixers, who cares? Right? Who cares? Jeez, what a mess. Huh? What a freaking mess. I don't care. And the Flyers, poor Flyers. They ended up with the fourth worst record in hockey this year. And then when they did the lottery picks, the lottery balls earlier this week, now they go down, they pick sixth. They went from fourth to sixth. Instead of having a better position, or maybe they picked number one or two, they dropped down. I mean, how unlucky can you get? I mean, come on. Anyway, so yes, I'm still fighting the kidney stones. Do you believe it? Anybody out there have a cure, a solution for kidney stones? Like, what the hell? I've had 2 procedures in the last month. And the first one was to get rid of a very annoying kidney stone that made an ass out of himself because he was just lodged near my kidney and he wouldn't leave. Don't you just hate that company that spend too much time? They won't leave. And you get up and you start doing the dishes and picking up the ashtrays and stuff, like hinting, okay, it's time to go to bed. It's time to leave. Get the hell out. Well, that's how this kidney stone has been. Now that they got rid of that. So God knows where he is now. Down the drain, I don't know. But they decided, in their infinite wisdom, to go into my other kidney and blast a lot of stones that were just kind of hanging out. So that leaves me now, a couple of weeks later, having blasted stones, but they're all kind of just sitting there. They're not going anywhere. And two stents in my kidneys that they didn't bother pull out, you know. So now I gotta go see a specialist. June the 5th, go see a specialist down Philly, and he's going to decide what to do. Either he's going to yank the stents out so I feel better, or he's going to keep him in and do another procedure. This one is using a Hoover vacuum cleaner. No, I'm serious. They're going to take a vacuum cleaner up in there, and they're going to go into my kidneys, and they're going to suck up all the stones there. That's what they're going to say. Suck. They're going to suck the stones. Because there might be some residue of stone dust in there, you know, gravelly stuff. And yeah, I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, so I guess I could really say, my friends, once they do this next procedure, I could say, boy, this really sucks. And it will, because that's the object of doing what they're going to do. Anyway, so I'll be glad when this kidney stone stuff is behind me, you know, and then I could start like focusing on other stuff, you know. So, so yeah. So I submitted my book, my big book. It's called Stronger Than Bone, Strong Like Bull, Stronger Than Bone. And the publisher who's really interested in it is reading it. They've been reading it for a couple of weeks. But you know what they say, no news is good news. So we'll see. Meanwhile, my short stories, short turner, continue to sell. I think I'm up to 19 now, 19. And that's pretty cool to know that people actually like what I'm creating. That's good. That's good to hear. So I've been doing that, and thinking of writing some new ones until I get the good word, hopefully on the big book. So we'll see. Yeah, it keeps me out of trouble. Yeah, I could be doing worse. So yeah, so that's about it for me. Before I leave, how could I forget that? How could I forget? Trying to make sure picture of my book. Where is my book? I can't. Well, I'll show them to you next time. You remember Bud, my old friend there, here with me for every episode, like the first 300 episodes that I've done in this fine podcast. And that hasn't been with me since. But I show his picture sometimes to remind you this is the big book. And he's still looking down. Yeah. Before I go, so Phillies gave it a half out of first place. Mets aren't going to last. They just don't have the pitching. Okay, so don't worry about the Mets. The Braves are coming up behind us. They're only 4 behind us, but they don't have the pitching either. I wouldn't worry too much. And the Nationals and the Marlins, they're just not ready. I still think the Phillies are going to take this division. I still do think so. National League Central, you got the Cubs in first place with the Brewers up there. It's a mishmash. Oh, you got the Cardinals actually coming back, and the Reds. I picked the Reds to win that division. Can you believe me? Was I on drugs? What? Now, I still think the Reds are going to win that division. And National League West, wow, is that a dogfight? Of course, you got the Dodgers in first place, but then you got San Diego is only 1 game back, and the Giants only 1 game back, and the Diamondbacks are only like 4 or 5 back. So that's a hotly contested race. That's why I said when I took the Dodgers not to win 103 games this year, which I thought was a lot, I said, no way, because they have a lot of stiff competition in their own division. Now, the Padres and the Giants were good. So that's a bet. Body of the game that I should cash in. You know what I mean? And over in American League, Well, the Yankees are in first place in the East, American League East. But I'll tell you the real disappointment is the Baltimore Orioles. What the hell happened to them? Huh? You know what, my friends? I'm old school, and it goes back to old school baseball. You don't have the pitching, you're not going to do anything. The Orioles, because they sucked for so many years, had all these high draft picks, and they did very well, choosing Jackson Holiday and Ashley Bushman, all these guys, Gunnar Henderson. They all have kind of cool names, Gunnar, Ashley, Jackson. But they don't have any pitching. The pitching they did have, they let go last year. Corbin Burns, who is a stud ace pitcher, they let him walk, and now he's on the Diamondbacks. And Baltimore, hello, McFly, hello. You can't win. You have all stud position players, but you're still not going to win if you don't have to pitch it. Let this be a lesson to you, Baltimore. If you end up with another high draft pick this year, which it looks like you might, maybe you want to use it on a little pitching, okay? Hint, hint, hint. And as we see, American League Central, the Guardians are right up there with the Tigers, who I actually picked to win the division. Tigers to win. I like the Tigers. I think the Tigers may win the American League, make it to the World Series. You heard it here first. Who's going to stop them in the American League? The freaking Yankees? Oh, yeah, right. Come on. And over in the American League West, the Mariners. Right down there in first place, but I wouldn't count on the Mariners. They were 10 games up last year in first place, and they blew it. They blew it to the stinking Rangers. And the A's, who actually don't have a home, and they're wafting between Colorado, Oakland, and Las Vegas. They're not ready for them yet. They're playing their games in friggin' Sacramento, and that's like a little league field. The A's are actually in second place. Wouldn't it be great for baseball, my friends? Wouldn't it be great? Like payback for help if the A's actually made the playoffs, and a lot of those playoff games are telecast from this little league field in Sacramento. What an embarrassment, The baseball. Oh my God. What if the A's made the World Series? They're playing a World Series from Sacramento, Little League Field. Oh my God. Anyway, so there you go with the baseball rant. All right, I guess that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope to be back more often. We'll talk about whatever's going on in the world like we used to. And everybody have a great weekend. Have a great Mother's Day, yeah? And enjoy the weather. Well, it's nice enough, okay? So take care, everyone. Peace and love to you. And peace and love, Pope Leo the 14th. I know you watch me out there, big guy. Good luck to you. Next time you're in the area, in Villanova or something, because, Pope Leo's a wildcat. You know that. Come by and say hello, all right? I did actually, when I was a kid, I actually had a cardinal come and visit me one time. It's in my first book. And Cardinal Crow used to be a big guy here around the area. Cardinal Crow. And he came to visit me when I used to live on Wall Street in Phoenixville. And that was like a big thing, having a guy who conceivably can be Pope walking into your house, coming up into your bedroom there to visit you. Wow, whoa, Cardinal Crow. And I was like, what was I, 10 years old or something? And when I heard Cardinal was coming to visit, I said, which Cardinal? Lou Brock or Bob Gibson? Which Cardinal? Because I was in baseball. I was into baseball back then. didn't know. I didn't know. But I asked him for his autograph. I don't know if that's really like the proper etiquette to a cardinal. I know you're supposed to say your eminence, you kiss his ring, you blah blah blah. But to ask the guy for his autograph, I don't know. But I did. And he ended up giving me a medal that was blessed. When he became cardinal, he had a bunch of medals that were blessed by Pope back then, Pope Paul VI. And he brought some home to give away as trinkets, yeah. And I was honored enough that he gave me. So that was pretty cool. But to think that Pope isn't American. Yeah. Actually ate a hot dog. Actually, yeah, just did American stuff. Yeah, like what the Wawa. If you guys don't know about Wawa all around the world, oh, that's too bad. But we know Wawa here, and it's a great little place to go. Knowing that the Pope was in Wawa, it's good for my heart. All right, everybody, peace and love. Take care until next time I see you. Huh? Go Phillies! Go Phillies and Cleveland. See you guys later. Take it back.